Hello dear students. Today let us start a new chapter, chapter 7, acids, bases and salts. This is also a chemistry chapter. Um, let's start the chapter. For that, first of all, first you have to see an activity. Activity 1 you can see here. There is a table given. Some substances are given in one column, and the other column you have to write the taste of each items. You already know that four different tastes are there, which are sour, salty, sweet and bitter. Now taste all these things and you can write the taste. Lemon juice, sour. Unripe mango, sour. Baking soda, bitter. Table salt, salty. Curd, sour. Sugar, sweet. Orange juice, sour. So these are the tastes. Now in the activity 1 you have seen that lemon juice, orange juice, unripe mango and curd, all these items taste sour. They taste sour because they contain substances called acids in them. For example, all fruits that taste sour have acids in them. All fruits that taste sour have acids in them. The word acid comes from the Latin word acidus, which means sour. Acids have a sour taste. These food items taste sour because they contain some acids. Because of the presence of these acids, they taste sour. Acid word comes from Latin word acidus, which means sour. Acids have a sour taste. Now there are two types of acids are there: organic acids and mineral acids. The acids which are obtained from living things such as plants and animals are called organic acids. Most organic acids are weak. These organic acids are weak. Acids obtained from minerals are called mineral acids. Now acids obtained from minerals, they are called mineral acids. Examples are hydrochloric acid, sulfuric acid, nitric acid. Now let's see some examples of organic acids. There is a table in the next page, table 7.1. You can see name of acid and the food items in which these acids are present. You can see here citric acid present in citrus fruits, that is oranges, lemons, etc. Lactic acid is present in milk, curd, etc. Acetic acid is present in vinegar. Tartaric acid, tamarind, grapes, unripe mangoes. Amino acids are present in proteins. Tannic acid is present in tea. Malic acid is present in apple. Carbonic acid present in carbonated drinks. And some mineral acids examples are hydrochloric acid, sulfuric acid and carbonic acid. You can see most mineral acids are strong. Most of the mineral acids are strong. They can cause serious skin burns. If they fall on our body parts, they cause skin burns. Our stomach also produces hydrochloric acid, which helps in digestion. Hydrochloric acid is an acid which is present in our stomach, which help the process of digestion. Okay, so there are two types of acids: organic acids and mineral acids, and their examples are given. Now bases. What are bases? From the activity 1 you have seen that baking soda tastes bitter. Baking soda tastes bitter. Prepare a solution of baking soda in water and rub it with your fingers. Now you can take some baking soda and mix it with water and rub it between your fingers. You feel soapy. You can feel that soapy touch. Substances such as baking soda that are bitter in taste and feel soapy to touch are called bases. If the substances have soapy feel touch and they taste bitter, those type of substances are called bases. A base has chemically opposite properties as compared to an acid. they are totally opposite for the opposite of the their properties are all opposite of the acid. Thus, a base can neutralize an acid's acidity. If we want to neutralize the acidic property, we can use base because both are opposite nature. Metal oxides, hydroxides, carbonates and bicarbonates are some examples of bases. Mostly oxides, hydroxides, carbonates and bicarbonates are examples of bases. Bases which are soluble in water are called alkalis. Some bases are soluble in water, they are called alkalis. Bases that are not soluble in water are not alkalis. Which are insoluble, they are not alkalis. Thus, all alkalis are bases, but all bases are not alkalis. Only few of them are alkalis, and all the alkalis are bases. Some common alkalis are sodium hydroxide, commonly called caustic soda, potassium hydroxide, commonly called caustic potash, calcium hydroxide, commonly called slag lime, and ammonium hydroxide. You can see the chemical formula of all these bases in the bracket. You already have learned about the groups, some groups in last chapter 3, structure of matter. You learned about the formulas, isn't it? We will henceforth use the term base for both bases and alkalis. So normally we use the term base for both alkalis and bases. Now salts. Next part is salt. When an acid reacts with a base, they neutralize each other's chemical properties and a salt and water are formed. I already told you that properties of acid is totally opposite of the properties of the bases. So they neutralize each other's properties, chemical properties. If they neutralize, they form a salt and water. When acid react with a base they form. If you mix some acid with a base, it will form a salt and water. For example, when hydrochloric acid reacts with sodium hydroxide, hydrochloric acid, which is an acid, react with a base called sodium hydroxide, that is caustic soda. Sodium chloride, common salt, and water are produced. When these two combine each other, react with each other, they form sodium chloride, that is common salt, and water. Salts can be acidic, basic or neutral depending on their composition. Salt may be acidic, they have some properties, maybe they have properties of acids, maybe they have properties of base, or maybe they are neutral, without any properties. Chemical compounds can be divided into these three broad categories. So we can say that chemical compounds are categorized into these three categories: acids, bases and salts. Now testing for acids and bases. How can we test if you got a substance? How can you say that it is an acid, whether it is an acid or base or salt? It is not safe to taste every substance to find out if it is acidic or basic. We don't know. Sometimes it may be dangerous if we taste them to identify whether they are acid, base or salt. There are some special substances that have different colors in acidic and basic mediums. In this situation, we can use some special substances which shows different color in acidic and basic medium. If we add that substance into acid, it shows a different color. If we add that into a basic solution, add that into a base, it will show another color. So we can say that whether it is acidic or basic or salt. They can be used to test if a substance is acidic. So they are called acid-base indicators. These substances which we can use to identify acid, base or salt are called acid-base indicators. They can be used to test if a substance is acidic or basic. We can use acid-base indicators to identify acids or bases. Litmus is a natural indicator obtained from lichens. One acid-base indicator. Example of one acid-base indicator is litmus. It is a natural indicator obtained from lichens. It is the most commonly used acid-base indicator. Litmus is the most commonly used acid-base indicator. It has a purple color in distilled water. Color of litmus is purple in distilled water. That means neither acidic nor basic, and no salt. It turns red in an acidic solution. If we add some acidic solution into the litmus, it turns red, and blue in basic solutions. It turns blue in basic solution. In the laboratory, two types of litmus papers are available. There are two types of litmus papers, blue and red. These are used to test acids and bases respectively. An acid turns blue litmus red. A base turns red litmus blue. So these two types of litmus papers are available in laboratory, blue and red. An acid turns blue litmus red. If you are using an acid, the blue litmus turns red and the red litmus remains same. If you use a red litmus paper, the base turn red litmus blue. Base turns red litmus blue, and that's why these two types of litmus papers are used in laboratory. Now let us do an activity. Activity number 2. You can see the activity number 2 to identify how to use the litmus papers. Squeeze a fresh lemon and collect some lemon juice. With a dropper, put a drop of lemon juice on blue litmus paper. Does the litmus paper turn red? We are using an acid. Lemon juice is an acid. If we add lemon juice on a blue litmus paper, what will happen? It will turn red. Dissolve an antacid tablet like Digene, which are acidity. When we are suffering with acidity, we use Digene. That antacid, it is an antacid tablet. Use that, take that Digene and mix it in water. Put a drop of this solution on red litmus paper, and then take a red litmus paper and put this solution on red litmus paper. It will turn into blue because it is a base. Antacid means opposite. Acidity, to reduce acidity, we are using antacid. That means it is opposite. That is, it is a base. So we can say that acid turned blue litmus red and base turned red litmus blue. So we can see the effect of red litmus paper with a drop of base here. You can see red litmus paper. If you are applying a base on it, it will turn into blue. And blue litmus paper with a drop of acid here. You can see that color change. Blue litmus paper turns red if you use an acid on it. So we can identify by using this litmus paper. Without tasting, we can identify acid and base. Then there is an activity. One more activity is activity number 3 is given here. You can see, you can make your own indicators. You will need some turmeric powder. For that you need some turmeric powder and some rubbing. If alcohol is not available, we can use water and mix it with water. Turmeric we can use as an indicator. It is a natural indicator. Then if you are applying this turmeric paste on a paper, white paper, and dry it. Let the paper dry. When it is dry, you can apply some soap solution on it. by using soap solution. We can, by using a dropper, you can put some soap solution on the turmeric paper. You can see the color change. Turmeric change into turmeric yellow color change into red when base is applied on it. When a base soap solution is base, soap is base, so the change in color you can see, yellow turns to red because turmeric change into red, turmeric yellow change into red when in a basic medium. Then you can do that activity. Another activity is also given there, another indicator is also given there from China rose petals, that means hibiscus flower, petals of hibiscus flower. You can read both the activity and do this activity. Okay, now there is an fact given here. Methyl orange and phenolphthalein are other indicators which can be used to test acids and bases. Methyl orange turns red in acidic solutions and yellow in basic solutions. Methyl orange turns red in acidic solutions and yellow in basic solutions. Phenolphthalein is colorless in acidic solutions and pink in basic solutions. Phenolphthalein is another indicator which is used in laboratory. It is colorless in acidic solutions and pink in basic solutions. Other than litmus paper, these two indicators are used in laboratory. Most commonly, these two indicators are used in laboratory. Now, types of acids. I already explained that there are two types of acids, mineral acids and organic acids. Hydrochloric acid, sulfuric acid and nitric acid are known as mineral acids. The naturally occurring acids such as citric acid, acetic acid and lactic acid present in human and plant materials are organic acids. Examples of organic acids are citric acid, acetic acid and lactic acid. Then now there is another categorization, concentrated and dilute acids. Concentrated and dilute acids. Hydrochloric acids consist of hydrogen chloride gas dissolved in a small quantity of water. Hydrochloric acid is formed by mixing hydrogen chloride gas. Hydrogen chloride gas dissolved in small quantity of water. Very small quantity of water, hydrogen chloride gas is dissolved. That is called hydrochloric acid. It is known as concentrated hydrochloric acid. It is known as concentrated hydrochloric acid. That means we are using small quantity of water. If the same hydrogen chloride gas is dissolved in more water, if you are dissolving this hydrogen chloride gas in more water, large quantity of water, at that time we can say that this is dilute hydrochloric acid. The acid is then said to be dilute. The strength reduces. The strength of the acid reduces. Thus, an acid is concentrated or dilute depending on the amount of water present in it. Depending on the amount of water present in it, acids can be divided into two: concentrated acids and dilute acids. Then properties of acids. Now what are the properties of acids? Some physical properties of acids are mentioned below. First one is acids have a sour taste. Physical properties are given here. Acids have a sour taste. Then acids turn blue litmus red. Acids turn blue litmus red. All acidic solutions conduct electricity. All acidic solutions conduct electricity. They are conductors of electricity. Acids are corrosive in nature. They can cause damage. They can destroy paper. Strong acids can destroy paper, cloth or wood. Acids also corrode metals such as iron and aluminium. Acids are corrosive in nature. Next property is, therefore acids are not stored in metal containers. They can corrode metals like aluminium, iron, etc. Therefore, acids are not stored in metal containers. Glass containers are used for storing acids. We cannot use metal containers to store acids. glass containers are used. Mineral acids except carbonic acid cause burns on the skin and therefore should be handled very carefully. Carbonic acid, other than carbonic acid, all the mineral acids are strong acids. They cause burns on the skin. They can cause burns on the skin and therefore should be handled very carefully. While in laboratory, if you are using this type of acid, we should be very careful. Acids are soluble in water. Acids are soluble in water. When an acid is dissolved in water, a dilute solution of the acid is formed and heat is given out. When we dilute an acid and we add some water into an acid, you can see heat is given out because that much high reaction takes place. For this reason, it is dangerous to add water to acid. So we cannot add water to acid. To dilute an acid, always add acid to water slowly. Very slowly we must add drop by drop. We can add acid to water with constant stirring. After putting one drop, we should stir again, put the next drop, like this. Continue constant stirring. Don't add water to acid. Only you can always add acid to water drop by drop. So we should be very careful about while handling these mineral acids. Organic acids are weak. Mostly they are weak, though they do not cause though they do not cause damage to our skin, etc. So that's all. I'm stopping today. I'm stopping here. Let us learn the chemical properties of acids in the next class.